Brad Bernardini. Hart to the far side, Hicks to the near side.
And I'll tell you, this Matola, number 14, is kicking off. I saw him practicing 40-yard field goals, and the ball almost went on top of the buses.
Jeff Matola getting ready to put the foot into it. The right-footed kicker kicks it high. Nice kick, end over end. And this is Hicks. William Hicks, number 23, and he is out to about the 25-yard line, where Vineland will have it 1st and 10 to start the first series of plays in this football game. Holy Spirit visiting Vineland at Gatone Stadium, and today we have a very special treat. Holy Spirit, one of the best teams, the number 1 team in South Jersey, and one of the best teams in the state. And Vineland needs to hang in there tight with these guys from the opening bell, so to speak. And they need to get their running attack off to a good start. Let's see what happens. The handoff is to the first man through up the middle, pickup of about 6 yards.
That was Buckaloo.
John Buckaloo in the backfield. Buckaloo, number 40, 5'11", 180-pound senior. He's the fullback. William Hicks, number 23, will be running from the right side, and Kevin Hart, number 24, from the left side. Something of a almost a wishbone formation right now, behind Chris Viso, the quarterback. And this is William Hicks again. And is there a loose ball?
That's a fumble.
And the preliminary indications are that we don't have it. Holy Spirit making their defensive prowess felt early in the game as they jar that ball loose from William Hicks. It's picked up by number 73 of Holy Spirit, who recovered the fumble. Chris Alcuba, 5'10", 216-pound senior tackle. So we go the other way. Al Mallon and company, as Holy Spirit splits 3 receivers wide to the near side. 1 back in the backfield. Mallon gives it to his running back, number 32, Chris Murray, 5'9", 176-pound senior, and he is contained by the right side of the Vineland defensive line.
Yeah, Murray's a force to contend with. He has been all season.
All right. 2nd down and 10. There was no gain. Looked like there might have been offsides that time. No flag. Mallon throwing over the middle. It's nearly picked off and broken up by number 50, John Hersey.
Nice job by Hersey.
5'7", 200-pound junior. That makes it 3rd and 10. So the defense is holding. They haven't given Holy Spirit a yard.
5'7", went against 5'9", that's not too bad. And he had good position. He was able to knock the ball away. Holy Spirit's even been known to pass on 1st down. So they're a potent offense, and they've got the backs, and they've got the receivers. So he'll do everything. Coach Ed.
A very nice play by Hersey that time out in the open field to break up that pass attempt. All right, 3rd and 10, 31-yard line. Holy Spirit got the ball in the fumble. And what a brilliant open field tackle on Chris Murray.
Number 34 for Vineland. Dean Castellini.
Oh, that was beautiful because it looked like Murray had clear sailing upfield. Castellini seemed to appear out of nowhere, and Holy Spirit has been held to 1 yard on its first series of plays after recovering the Vineland fumble.
And that was a good play because that was a draw play, and they figured he's going to pass at that particular time. And here they're going to try a field goal, and he might be a fake, but this kid could make it. This is about 50 yards.
49-yard attempt. It is kicked. It's not going to be long enough, falling just about 5 yards short. And that was one heck of an effort by number 14.
Jeff Matola.
Chris Motola, that's right, M-O-T-T-O-L-A. Jeff Matola, we'll get him right. Jeff Matola.
There's a flag on the play.
Uh-oh.
And if it's 10 yards, it'll be 1st down. This is what happened near the end of the game, near the end of the first half last year. We played Holy Spirit and ended up losing with they got a touchdown near the end of the half, all because of a play that was disallowed because of violation.
You can't give a team like this a break. Not when you have them 4th and 9.
They got a 1st down.
Well, let's see. Roughing the kicker. Too bad we don't have instant replay for you this year. Had instant replay since 1973. Okay, it's 1st and 10. The ball is at the 16-yard line, and that spells trouble for the Vineland defense that had held beautifully, but roughing the kicker cost him the football. Murray off the right side. He's got room. He's inside the 10 to the 7-yard line, and close to a first down. It's the first time they tried running off the right side of the line. They haven't been that successful going left. But you know, you can tell something about the Holy Spirit offensive line. They block very, very well, and they force the defense to alter their strategy just a little bit, and they get more time for the running back, we notice. Okay, 2nd and 2. The ball is at the 8-yard line. Here's Murray up the middle. He's going to be stopped at the 6-yard line by 3 Vineland tacklers. First man off the pile, number 50, John Hersey again, who's making his presence felt defensively today.
Yeah, that was Brian Little that carried the ball that time, Mike. And that's really a heartbreaker, though. Here you stop the other team, and you force them to kick a field goal. You've got the ball on about the 45-yard line, and then they end up getting the ball on the 16.
Totally tragic, totally tragic. And you cannot make a mistake against this team. Right now, we're about to witness the reason why Holy Spirit is just that much away from a 6-0 lead here with 8:26 to go in the first quarter of play. And this is Little or Murray?
That's Little.
The ball's loose, but I think it's after the whistle.
Right.
Recovered by Vineland, number 11, Robert Haydack. But they got the first down. They had the first down on the last play. I didn't realize that. It was 1st and goals. So now what do we have? They didn't score, did they?
Yes, they did. They indicated touchdown. They indicated touchdown with 8:17 on the clock.
Well, you'll see it better on your TV screen than we do here in the press box, but I didn't realize he had gotten in the end zone. Here's Matola's attempt for the conversion. It's high, but a beautiful kick, though. And we have a 7-0 lead with 8:17 to go here in the first quarter of play. 7-0 Holy Spirit leads. We'll be right back.
Should have had the ball a second time, but because of roughing the kicker penalty, Holy Spirit got a first down, and they moved on in and scored a touchdown. No passes were thrown. One pass was thrown, and that pass was knocked down.
All right, Jeff Matola, who has demonstrated here early at the outset that he can kick a football and might be a college prospect in that area.
No doubt.
All right, deep, Kevin Hart, number 24, William Hicks, number 23. And it's going to go to Bernardini, the middleman, at the 1-yard line. He's across the 10, 15, and tripped up. Spilled across the 20-yard line, as it were. Brad Bernardini. So Vineland will have its second chance to move the football on offense, already trailing 7-0 early in the game because of a roughing the kicker penalty that gave Holy Spirit another chance.
You know, you'll not be seeing too much of Tony Basil today. He had a deep thigh bruise, and he may not be playing. That goes for Lapsley. I've been trying to find 64 on the field. He may not be playing today either.
All right, the ball is placed down at the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, the Fighting Clan. Viso gives it to
Buckaloo.
It's Buckaloo, number 40.
Looks like he made about 9 on that one.
John Buckaloo, one of his better runs of the season so far.
Let me tell you something. You know, with Buckaloo, last season with 10 carries against Holy Spirit, he only made 9 yards. He's already made 15 and 2 carries.
They got the first down, the ball at the 35-yard line. Vineland needs to sustain this drive and get that ball into the end zone. They're going to play any chance of playing this team. And that's Buckaloo again on the carry. He picks up about 4 to the 39-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 6.
You know, Holy Spirit could come into this game a little bit cocky, too. They smashed 2 teams that Vineland had some problems with, at least for one half. And now they scored a touchdown. And maybe, just maybe, they get a little excited about it and slack off just a little.
Boy, look at those guys from Holy Spirit on the front line. They're big, and they are ready. They want to stop Vineland right now. All right, this is Hicks, and he may have a first down at the 45-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. It looks like it. I don't know. It might be off by a nose. They'll probably measure.
Yeah, they're going to measure.
The officials will take an official timeout.
The nose of the ball is touching the line.
Yeah. They give it to him? No measurement.
No measurement. They're just saying 9 yards.
Well, it's third and about 4 inches. You can probably see that on the over there at the marker at the far side, where you see the third and bullseye. At any rate, Viso handing off to Buckaloo. He's got the first down and more real estate into Holy Spirit territory at the 45. And Tony, you gotta feel good about this Vineland drive here. They're coming right back. They can get on the board. We have a tie football game.
You know, Buckaloo tripped one over one of his blockers who was lying down on the ground. He tripped over him because it looked like a wide open slot. The Vineland line is opening up holes. We're going to start giving credit to some of these numbers, Mike.
Impressive, absolutely. All right, 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Viso fakes, gives it to Buckaloo. Fake me out, too. Gets a couple. 2nd and 8. Let's take a look at those guys across the front line. Left tackle, senior Milt Morris, number 72, 6'5", 275. That'll make some holes for a running back. The left guard, 5'9", 210-pound T.J. Patch. The center, 5'11", 185, Matt Haught. The right guard, 5'10", 175, Roger Marandino. And the right tackle, 5'11", 215, Jeff Bays. This is Hart. Hart's got on a running move. Hart has a chance to take it home at 20. He's knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Biggest play of the game. Vineland on the move as Kevin Hart chews up 30 yards and a Vineland first down at the 13-yard line.
Well, Hart's been doing a lot of that long-distance running, and I think Holy Spirit's got to be taken back. Here comes Coach Ed Burns out on the field wondering what's going on because he's really giving it to him because nobody does it. Oh, yes, he is.
Look at him.
Nobody does this to Vineland.
Oh.
Nobody does this to Holy Spirit, rather. He is really upset, ranting and raving
Well, you
out
don't see
there.
a coach do this too often. Hey, let me tell you, it's the way you play football.
That's right.
You don't
Vineland's
give up
ready.
anything in this game.
Vineland's ready. Vineland's psyched as well. Vineland's ready for this game.
Well, this should be interesting to see what transpires after this tongue lashing at the 10-yard line by the coach of Holy Spirit.
Well, you know, they beat...
That's a Tommy Lasorda.
They beat Absegami 50-12. Vineland played a beautiful second half to beat Absegami last week by 1 touchdown. Vineland had to come from behind to beat Atlantic City, and they smashed Atlantic City about 42-0. You know, and so these guys are going to be easy, and it happens. Now they're starting to bang in.
Down there.
Well, yeah, they're trying to get
Big
themselves
guys.
psyched up. The coach has gotten them psyched up. The coach is up. He's bad, I think, but it's okay. That's the breaks.
That's Chris Alcoba and E.J. Nustico butting heads down there. They want to play football. 1st and 10 at the 13 as Vineland up to this defensive challenge. Viso, Buckaloo, bashing through.
13-yard touchdown.
Vineland high. 13-yard run by John Buckaloo. The Fighting Clan is right back in this football game. Hey, you got to admire this, huh?
That's for sure.
How about a word of commendation for Coach John Parentazzi there? He didn't back off with that defensive display from Holy Spirit. Just bashed that one through for 13 yards and a Vineland touchdown.
This game plan that they have, at least this first series, or the second series of downs, really has been executed well.
Ernie Bernhardt will hold. Greg Loftus will attempt the conversion, and we have a timeout, Vineland.
There was a little confusion out there in the field, and everybody's sort of holding their hands out wide, wondering what's going on. Maybe they're missing a ball player out there, and John Buckaloo's running back out there now, but they might have been missing a player, which is, I guess, 11 not going to be able to hold that. Well, even 11, you had 9 holding out 11, so you're not going to be able to do it.
Good thing somebody took a body count.
Yeah, but the timeout's hurt.
Now, obviously, this kick is extremely important because we have a 7-6 game right now, and everybody knows what can happen with a 1-point differential. The pressure is on the kicker, Mr. Greg Loftus, 6'2", 180-pound senior who also can play some quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a play by Buckaloo in this first quarter,
Awesome.
with 45 yards, and it's been really has done a tremendous job, and the holes have been there, and he's been opening up, the lines open up the holes, and he picks his spots well. I mean, before this, Buckaloo in 14 carries had 31 yards. Today, so far, in 6 carries, he's got 45.
Okay, Greg Loftus attempting an extremely important extra point. Nice snap. It's high. Is it off? Oh, it's shanked to the left side. And we have a 7-6 ball game with 5:37 to play in the first quarter. Could make it interesting later on, depending on what happens here out. This is Dr. Michael Harvey, along with me, Tony DeRazio. We'll be back with more exciting Vineland High football action in just a moment. Ground attack we just witnessed here made that Holy Spirit defense appear paralyzed a couple of times. And we have a 7-6 ball game. So if Holy Spirit thought that Vineland was going to quit after coughing up the football and ultimately resulting in the Holy Spirit touchdown, they were certainly wrong about that. Here's Morris's kick. Fairly nice kick, but it's going to be out of bounds, however, as it you couldn't keep it within the playing field.
Well, you know, Milt's had that problem. Now it's going to cost Vineland a 5-yard penalty. Last week against Absegami, Milt kicked one into the end zone, which eventually ended up for the winning touchdown because Absegami never did get away from the 20-yard line. And, in fact, when their punter kicked, he had a punt from the end zone, and Hart brought the ball back to about the 5, and Vineland went in and scored the winning touchdown. So that putting the ball in the end zone psyched everybody up, just like when Zendeja stopped the pregame at the Eagles. Right. But they stopped. Everybody was so surprised to see the ball go in the end zone from an Eagle kicker.
All right, so we got the 32s and 22s deep. Murray 32 and Brian Little 22.
Now you can bet that Coach Burns talked to that offensive team, and they're going to come out psyched, and maybe they'll be too psyched. That can happen too. Morris has to kick the ball now from the 35-yard line.
Look at the size of him, will you? 6'5", 275. Can he dunk?
He did play basketball. I saw him play junior varsity basketball. I think he played varsity too. But yes, he did. He played varsity basketball.
I think some of the college scouts might be watching his films each week.
Well, his kickoffs have always been a problem. You know, he does shank the ball quite a bit. Last season he did it quite a bit.
Yeah, but I'm talking basically about his offensive line blocking. Very impressive. He's the guy that sprung Hart for the 31-yard gain that set up the touchdown. 5:37 to go in the first quarter of play. And, Tony, we've had enough excitement for a game already.
Well, yeah, see, Vineland hasn't started out this quickly. The other games, you know, and at Pemberton, they started moving down the field against Pemberton, but never did get behind the 20. And the Atlantic City game, they were slow starting. And the Absegami game, they were slow starting, but not today.
I couldn't believe Burns, the way he charged on the field, wasted those guys, huh?
Well, you know, the Vineland kids are going right at him. That's what you have to do with these guys. Go right at them.
Okay,
they're not used to it.
Here we go. Hey, squib job. Jiffy Lube. All right, that's at the 23-yard line. Little. Ooh, he is hit hard. And making the tackle is Milt Morris, number 72, the kicker.
That's right. He met him right head on. Let's take a look at this Vineland defense.
Let's.
84 is out there.
Joe Crescenzi, 6'2", 180-pound senior.
That's right.
A name we've come to become familiar with the past few years.
Number 11, Haydak, and number 15, Ernie Bernhardt, 32. Jim Wallers, 24. Kevin Hart.
Okay, Al Mallon and company ready to go to work here as soon as the officials give them the football. Kind of hard to play this game without one of their pigskins.
I don't know why you need to bother with a ball.
Why even use the ball? Have a guy as a designated runner.
It's like playing a street game, right?
You know, for a game called football, you don't use the foot that much in this game. I'm waiting for him to start the second half without a kick, like they do in basketball, without a jump. And then eventually they'll have to change the name of the game because they won't have kicking anymore, but nevertheless. All right, this is Murray, and if he doesn't stumble, he had a couple of more yards, but he's got the first down, it looks like, in Vineland territory at the 46-yard line.
And this time he came to the right side again. That's how the last gain that Murray made was to the right side as well.
Who's this 87 I can't seem to find a number for?
What team you talking about?
The other guys.
87.
Don Fussner.
Don Fuster, yeah.
Okay, he's in there, just so you know, folks.
All right, Buckaloo's in there for Vineland on defense.
What's that, a second down and a couple of inches? This is a stingy officiating crew we have here today.
Well, that's the way it goes.
I mean, let's get it over with, huh?
T.J. Patch is in there. Buckaloo's in there. John Hersey's in there. Don't see Lapsley in there, but we didn't know if he was going to play or not.
I'm just glad of one thing, that we don't have Korean referees.
Number 54, John Perez is in there. John really came to the fore last week. You might hear some comments from the stands because of our field mic. Doesn't look like they made it. No, they didn't.
We may have to retract our field mic.
Yeah, that's been known to happen too. Defense is playing tough ball. Willie Hart, number 43, is sitting there right in the middle of the line. That three-man front.
So we got second and 4 fingers for a first down.
I'd pass right now.
Sure, why not? Okay, Mr. Mallon. Official says okay. And Al give it to Murray. And Murray's doing what we were afraid of. Murray's chewing up big chunks of real estate down the 22-yard line, where he is finally shoved out of bounds by number 11 for the Fighting Clan, Robert Haydack.
And I think it was a hold on Holy Spirit to stop the Vineland blocker. Yes, it is. It's a penalty against Holy Spirit.
I hope somebody can stop Murray.
Well, you had a shot at the man had a shot at him. The Vineland man had a shot at him, but he was being held by the Holy Spirit.
But he was out there by himself. I don't even think he was touched until Haydack hit him down there at the, wherever he was, 23-yard line?
23-yard line. Murray has had been averaging 7.3 yards per game. He's got 4 touchdowns.
You think maybe this is a give back?
No.
Actually, we're just trying to create suspicion and distrust amongst our viewing audience.
No. This game has turned out real well so far, and I hope it continues along the same lines, because there are 2 good ball clubs out there, and Vineland, to start, this is the game they come together great. Here comes Paulman, this number 9, the guy we have to watch out here.
All right, let's watch him. You watch him, and I'll watch the quarterback now. Okay, that's Little. And little does he get on that play. As he is snowed under after a 1-yard pickup.
Dean Castellini slowed him down.
Yes. He's been known to do that to a few running backs this year.
You keep coming at the same people. After a while, like I say, hey, you're going to stop coming over me.
Hey, how do you like this turn of events here at Catone Stadium today, huh?
That's what people have been looking for.
This team does not look like the number 1 team in the southern half of the state right now. They're gone the wrong way. It's a 3rd and 9 from the 44. Mallon, he's going to throw this time. Good protection. Here comes the rush. High in the air. It is. Oh, he's got a man at the 40. He's to the 30, the 25, and knocked down at the 19-yard line by Robert Haydack. And that is number 88, Chris Stoll, the big 6'4", 208-pound senior tight end. And that is a nice pass completion. And Holy Spirit looking real tough right now. Whatever we said about this team, we take it back.
No, we don't.
We rescind, we retract.
Stoll is good at catching the ball, though.
Well, that was a nice play. And look what he did after he caught the ball. He looked like a bowling ball knocking off the bowling pins. I think it was a spare.
Well, Mallon was right after, 43 was right after, Willie Hart was right after Mallon. Mallon got rid of the ball just before he was tackled by Willie Hart. But they just got to get the Mallon a little quicker, make him release the ball a little quicker.
You know, the first guy that had a shot at Stoll that time looked like if he hit him just right at the right time, he could have jarred that ball loose. But, you know, you got these little defenders, 5'9", 5'10", in the backfield against this horse who's 6'4", 208 pounds. He looks a little bit like Lonnie Worsley from St. Joe of Hamilton, whose game I had the pleasure of doing last week, Bridgeton, St. Joe. This kid Worsley's awesome, 6'4", 220-pound fullback. He's a workhorse. He carries every other play. Takes 5 guys to bring him down. He's got offers from Notre Dame and Purdue. Okay, 1st and 10, the ball at the 19-yard line. Holy Spirit on the move. They didn't let the penalty affect him. Mallon, quick pass, high in the air. It is intended for number 9, and does he have it? It's caught at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's Hallman. That's Hallman.
Kevin Hallman, the guy you said to keep an eye on. Well, you saw why. And, you know, you may as well just chalk up another one here, Tony.
Well, you know, there's one of those timing plays. When Mallon got the ball, he just threw it for the corner of the end zone, the pylon that's right on the goal line. He just threw it right for that spot. And Vineland did have 3 fellas out there.
Yeah.
But the ball was there just as the man got there.
Somebody has to bat that pass down. It was high enough. It wasn't a line drive. It was kind of up in the air, and they didn't do it. 1st and goal at the 1. Mallon, touchdown. 13-6 Holy Spirit. That comes with 3:14 to go in the first quarter. We're having some excitement here today. So Mallon with a 1-yard run. He set it up with his 18-yard pass completion to Kevin Holman. Matola, Jeff Matola, number 14, again will attempt the conversion.
Matola's completed 19 in a row over 2 seasons.
Wow. So it doesn't reason he's going to miss, but let's see. Beauty. Count that one. 14-6 Holy Spirit as the Spartans come back. And Vineland still playing catch-up. They got to get back in this game and keep it tight. We still have 3:14 to go in the first quarter. Already 3 touchdowns have been scored in this game. And the score is 14-6 Holy Spirit. We'll be right back in a minute.
14-6 in favor of Holy Spirit. I like to see Vineland come right back again.
Yeah, just to show these guys that we can play with them. And now they have to almost think twice before they just take everything for granted here today.
Well, see, Mallon did went to their chief weapon now. Of course, Mallon, he's thrown 2 passes, and one for 37 and one for 18. The 37 set up the 18-yard pass, and the 18-yard pass set up the touchdown, and that's what you need.
You know, it makes sense to keep looking for big number 88, too, because nobody else in the field's as tall as he is except for Milt Morris. Okay, this is Hicks. Took it at the 11, and he almost breaks the seam right up the middle. Tackled by number 57 of Holy Spirit. And where'd you go there? 57. Brian Lowry, 5'11", 189-pound senior special team specialist, makes the tackle.
So you lucked out. When Jim Quinn and I did the first game, their names were in alphabetical order, and the numbers were catch as catch can, so that was fun. At least these numbers are in numerical order.
Thank goodness. Okay, 1st and 10 Vineland at the 29-yard line. Viso gives it to Buckaloo.
Picks up about 2 on the play.
Yeah.
They can't keep going to that well too often now. Like that, you mentioned about the specialties teams. Coach Burns says that all his specialty players are non-starters. And he does have he carries 108 players on a squad.
108 players.
Well, yeah, they're there.
2nd and 7 from the 32. Hicks, he's got some running room outside. Does he get away? He's still on his feet and down to the 39-yard line and very close to a Vineland first down.
I'll tell you, these Vineland backs are not backing off of anybody, and not only the Vineland backs, the Vineland line is not backing off of so-called invincible Holy Spirit.
Not at all.
Their offensive line is really doing the job.
They seem to run best off the left side. Milt Morris and T.J. Patch.
That's Brad Bernardini, number 81, bringing into play.
The beef that moves the beef.
Hawks over the ball.
Morris isn't in there right now. 3rd and a yard. They got it. Buckaloo.
Buckaloo.
43-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Vineland.
I'll tell you what, Vineland has 3 first downs by rushing so far. The other 2 games, they've had hardly any first downs by rushing. Vineland's really putting it to Holy Spirit. They're coming right at him and say, here we come, you stop us.
Steve Wilkins, number 44, the right inside linebacker, made the last tackle for Holy Spirit. 1st and 10, and we have official time.
Okay, out there for Vineland on offensive line, you had 72.
That's Milt.
Milt Morris, and then you had Joe 84's out there.
Jeff Bays is in there, too.
Joe Crescenzi. Hicks seems a little shaken up.
And we certainly hope that William is okay. He's up on his own and coming off to the near side.
And 63's out there, Roger Marandino.
And he's replaced by Willie Hart, number 43, coming into the game.
Right.
Is that Kevin's brother?
Yeah.
He's a senior.
Brother or cousin, I'm not
Brother
sure.
or cousin. 5'11", 175. 1st and 10 from the 42. Holy Spirit's offside.
They tried to draw him offsides that time, and they got him offsides. Remember last year they used to do that a lot. Try to get the long count. Makes it a little easier. 1st and 5's a lot easier than 1st and 10.
Hey, might be a good time to throw that pass up in the air.
Well, yeah, John Haydack on this side, Joe Crescenzi on the other. They've thrown a Pemberton game. Joe brought 6. Had a little problem since then, but
Split wide left, tight end formation to the right side, wishbone. 1st and 5. Viso gives it to Hart, and Hart's got the first down in Holy Spirit territory at the 46.
I don't think Holy Spirit's been playing against backs like this the first 2 games of the season anyhow. This is going to be a challenge for them. They're not too used. They haven't had to come from behind. And last year they probably didn't have to come from behind too often too when you had a 10-1 record.
Right. 1st and 10, the ball at the 46-yard line. Vineland has shown the ability to move the ball consistently against that highly touted Holy Spirit defense. This is Hart. Kevin Hart for a pickoff of 3 or 4. Call it 2nd and 6. Today's game is brought to you in part by the Minatola Bank, serving the Vineland area for 75 years, and that is stability. The Minatola Bank.
Switch sides now. Crescenzi's here on the left side, and Haydack is over on the south side, north side of the field.
That's it.
And into the quarter.
That truck horn signifies we have, gosh, it seems like we've played a half of football already, but we've only played a quarter. Holy Spirit leading Vineland 14-6. But Vineland looking like they're trying to hold their own in this football game. Stick around. We should have a real beauty for you as this game progresses. We'll be right back in a couple. Penalty marker before the play really develops. Illegal procedure, and we lose the 5 we got a few minutes ago.
Turnabout, I guess.
Well, they move it back to the 46-yard line.
Haydack and Bernardini are the ones bringing the plays in and out. Number 11, Haydack. Number 81, Bernardini.
That's 2nd and 11. Bernardini splitting to the near slide. They have Hart also flanked to the near side. Viso, oh, it's loose. That wasn't a real sound play that time, as Viso actually pitched that ball back at the moment he was hit to William Hicks, and that loses a few more yards.
Yeah, he lost about 7 on that play.
All the way back just about to the 45-yard line of Vineland. And now we have 3rd and 19.
3rd and 19 makes it a little difficult.
Now what do you call?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they would try a pass. If it gets intercepted down the field, it's the same thing as a punt, depending how far down you throw it, of course.
Okay. All the way back to the 45-yard line. Viso, oh, another one of those kind of plays. This is Kevin Hart. Oh, he is going to get just about nothing if he gets back to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't even do that. He's to the 41. They lose another 5 yards.
Yeah, we see there's a case now of someone was coming in on Viso from behind, and of course he didn't even know that fellow was coming from behind.
That option play ain't working.
No, right now he tried it each side. They've tried it to the right side, tried it to the left side. Neither time did it work.
You know, they should have punted on 1st down.
No. Off this back to punt.
Okay, and little is deep. High kick, little catches this. He's going to get hit, and he says, And right there, 25-yard line, Holy Spirit will have it. Well, that's certainly better field position than Vineland had a moment ago.
Yeah, that's a bad break. 2 bad pitches there, and that really cost. They've got to keep the momentum. They've got to keep it going. You know, old man Moe's got to be on your side. It didn't help Holy Spirit when the coach came out and gave him a bad time, because right after that, the other team scored.
Yep. And they haven't scored since, though. So maybe he's philosophizing on the sidelines, and we haven't been picking it up. And a couple of yards off the right side. Let's see who's on the bottom of the pile.
Murray.
It's Murray this time, 32. Chris Murray, 5'9", 176 pounds senior.
Well, Vineland feels that this Mallon, number 30, the quarterback, of course, 208 pounds, 6'1" senior, he's the key to stop. And you got to get him before he stops, before he has a chance to throw. And right now, he's thrown 3 passes, completed 2.
9 of the 11 starters are seniors for Holy Spirit. 2nd and 6. Mallon gonna put up the big one. Pretty pass in traffic, caught by Stoll. What a brilliant catch with 3 guys on him that time. He's so big they can't compete with him.
That's a 43-yarder.
This guy is an indefensible weapon. He's indefensible. 3 guys can't get the ball away from him, and it's a big play, big first down, Holy Spirit at the Vineland 29-yard line.
This is a team that's been known to throw first down passes too. But Mallon just stands back there and throws the ball up in the air and has his fellows go up and get it.
43-yard pass completion. Al Mallon to Chris Stoll, the big tight end. First down. Little up the middle for about 4. And is there a loose ball?
Buckaloo tackled him from behind that time.
So Spirit marches to the 26-yard line. 9:02 to go in the first half. And that team up of Al Mallon to Chris Stoll looks like a weapon that Coach Burns can pull out of his pocket and use at any time he needs the big yards. Twice they pull it off today. They're 2 for 2, and they pull it off convincingly. This is Little around the right side, couple of yards. And John Buckaloo again makes the tackle. Buckaloo is the left linebacker, 5'11", 180-pounder on defense. He's the fullback on offense, John Buckaloo. One of the best running backs on the Vineland team the past couple of years.
This is Chris Stoll, 6'4", 208. He's a tight end, good receiver. That's what the scouts said. Boy, they were right.
Slot left formation. The backs are in the eye. Al Mallon gives it to Chris Murray, and he's close to a first down at about the 19-yard line.
T.J. Patch put the blocks to him that time. Murray's been the workhorse so far in a running attack.
Sounds like a brand name, doesn't it? T.J. Patch.
They're a little short of the first down.
Spirit takes a timeout. And while they take a timeout, what do you say? Tony, you look like you have something you want to say before we take one.
No, I'm just listening to a public address system.
Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll let the folks listen to a commercial from one of the great people that make the games possible here on Channel 2. We'll be right back. Our 7:49 mark of the second quarter. It's a 4th down and less than a yard, a short yard for Holy Spirit. As they have moved the ball well, they're leading 14-6. And if they get a first down right here at the 19-yard line, they're in real good position to go into the locker room with a commanding halftime lead. This is Murray. He's got the first down before he is upended. Robert Haydak's in the bottom of the pile. And Kevin Hart assisting on the tackle. They get the first down at the 15-yard line of Vineland. Holy Spirit now 15 yards away from a 21-6 lead. And you know, you got to be thinking right now that this is the defensive series of the game for Vineland. They cannot afford to get 2 touchdowns deep for the number 1 team in South Jersey, Holy Spirit. There's Murray. Lots of running room. He is down to the 6-yard line. And were it not for that fine defensive play by T.J. Patch, number 70, Mr. Murray would have had that 3rd Holy Spirit touchdown.
Chris Murray, up until today, has carried 25 times for 182 yards, 7.3 yards a carry, and he has 4 touchdowns. So far today, he's carried 4, 6, 9 times, and he's picked up quite the first 2 times, though they stopped him dead.
Look at the monitor. We got our monitor working up here now. Isn't this great? Just like the pros. Living black and white. Seriously, this is fun. We're just kidding, guys in the truck. This is Little. Oh, is he? No. He's stopped at the 1-yard line. But Willie.
That's a nice pile up over there, too. The Vineland boys are Vineland line. It's really doing a job.
You know, by tackling that guy shy of the end zone, they're allowing Holy Spirit to eat up the clock, Tony.
Well, if they don't tackle him shy of the end zone, he goes into the end zone, and that stops the clock. Is that what you want? Oh. Mallon will probably keep it.
It's a 1st and goal. Talk about the breaks. Look at that hurl into the end zone for the TD, Mr. Little. Brian Little for the touchdown. That makes it 20-6, and there's still 6:19 to play in the half. This one isn't over yet. It's only the first score of the second quarter, Tony.
Yeah, but the ball has been mainly in Holy Spirit's hands, unfortunately, due to particularly to a couple of bad pitches here on option play. We put Vineland in the hole.
All right, Jeff Matola attempting to convert.
Oh,
It's
the
blocked.
kick is blocked.
The first one he's missed in how many years?
That's right. That's
Kindergarten, wasn't it?
Well, he's had 2 in a row. He had 20 in a row, and now there goes his streak.
Boy, it's almost unfair. I mean, he just didn't get the defense of the protection of the line.
I'd see my heart bleeds for him, but then
This doesn't count.
We can't
The
be
streak
partial.
is still on. We have officially ruled it doesn't count. It was a block. He didn't miss it. He didn't shank it.
He didn't make it either.
He didn't make it.
That's what counts. Hey, these Vineland fans are with it now. They're pleased with the way the Vineland team started out this game, and it's not a bad crowd on the Holy Spirit side, and Vineland has a nice crowd here. Yeah, compared to what it has been previously, this is a good crowd.
Yeah, it is a nice crowd.
Not like last week where at Absegami, Vineland had 42 people, and Absegami had 92.
Well,
And
that's
by
nice.
the way, Mike, we got a nice job by Matt Birmingham and Robin Daplin. They covered
Exceptional.
radio and TV last week.
These guys were great, I
They
tell
were.
you. They're a tough act to follow, Tony.
Yeah, nice job. Real nice.
Jeff Matola. He's going to kick off. Oh, nice one. Well, it hangs up there. Must be kicking into the wind. This is Hicks at the 17-yard line, and whatever happened to him, he disappeared.
Yeah, he disappeared in
There
a
he
crowd
is.
of white jerseys and gold pants.
Yeah, number 99 was there to greet him, as it were. That's the last guy on our list, Mark Reardon, 6'1", 180-pound special teams specialist.
You know, they have a 60-man, Holy Spirit has a 60-man freshman squad.
60 men. So
They-
obviously they think there's power in numbers over there.
They don't rebuild, they reload.
27-yard line. This is Kevin Hart. He got about 6 or 7 yards that time. A creditable effort.
The Vineland backs have been making yardage. Again, the only minus yardage has been the 2 option passes that have been bobbled, and other than that, it's all been plus yardage on the running.
All right, yeah, come to think of it, that looks like one of the plays that should be stricken from the playbook. What do you think?
Well, right now today, that's been unsuccessful, yes.
Right.
But may come back with it in the second
It
half.
does get these kids ready for college because that's the way they play in college. Right? Okay, this is Kevin Hart. And
Second man through.
Yeah, good luck the first time, and he's only short a few inches or a foot or so of the first down the second time. So we got a third and and 1 coming up.
And they are mixing it up, too. It says first man through, second man through, and Holy Spirit has to think, and that's good. That's what you want them to do.
So Vineland going to their ball control offense now, Tony, and this is important to keep that Holy Spirit offense off the field. That's a pretty long yard he's got to go there. 3rd and 1, they got to get it too. Bacaloo.
He made it.
Yeah. So that's a first down. They got to get another score. They got to get another score in the half.
Yeah, it'd be nice to go in at the half. All right, if you're losing 19-13, one more touchdown would be nice. Some kind of score, even a field goal. Loftus can kick a field goal. He kicked a 25-yarder. He could kick a field goal.
Okay, it's 1st and 10. The ball at the 39-yard line of Vineland.
Of course, Vineland hasn't passed yet either.
That's right. Chris Viso, the QB. Hart. Oh, he is hit at the line of scrimmage and gets a little bit, but not much there. He gets a few yards, but boy, when he was hit there by, if you turn this way, sir, we can see your number. Thank you, number 42 for those guys. Who is 42? Where is
42
he?
is Paul Elko.
Okay, thank you.
Paul Elko, 6'1", 174-pound junior.
And he made the tackle.
He comes hard.
2nd and 7. Haydak splitting. That's not Haydak. That's Bernardini splitting to the near side. And Kevin Hart's the slot back, and that's John Buckaloo, and he disappeared. Boy, that front line of Holy Spirit came to play football today.
Yeah, if he made a yard, it was a hard yard.
And Steve Wilkins again making the tackle. He's been active this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a 6-footer, 185-pound senior. And you'll notice we say the word senior a great deal. There are 18 seniors back on this team, and a lot of them played last year. And last year, again, they were 10-1. So.
And you see how it hurts not getting the running game going. Now they've got 3rd and 7. That's a tough conversion to make. And Vineland has to keep that football. The ball at the 43. There's Viso throwing. It's incomplete. Intended for number 84. Joe Crescenzi.
He hesitated. He sort of faked the throw, and then he did throw it. By that time, Crescenzi had stopped the movement, though. He was standing still, and he was surrounded.
And he was covered like a blanket. You know, Viso threw wisely that time, just a little bit overthrown, because if that ball was thrown a foot underthrown, Holy Spirit would have had an interception. Greg Loftus will be kicking away to Brian Little. There's a nice rush, but Loftus gets it off. Little, 21-yarder. Breaking a couple of tackles. Little out to the 36. That was a nice run back of the punt. 15 yards on the return. Holy Spirit takes it over 1st and 10 at their own, let's see where they mark it, 36-yard line with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first half. And the Holy Spirit Spartans now with a commanding 20-6 lead over the Vineland Fighting Clan. See number 53 for Vineland, Matt Hott, being attended to on the sidelines. 1st and 10, Holy Spirit. Murray is the back in motion. Over the middle, Mallon underthrown for Brian Little that time. And well that he did, because Little was in triple coverage over there. Robert Haydack and Ernie Bernhardt being 2 of the 3 in the deep coverage in the secondary for VHS.
That time you saw a different kind of pass by Mallon. He threw a nice spiral pass, and he threw it on a line. Not the two, the others have been rainbows.
The guy has an impressive arm. He seems to be able to do what he wants with that football. He throws that ball on a line downfield, long distance, and should be a great college prospect. Mallon over the middle. He's got a man this time. It's Stoll for a 1st down at the 48-yard line. Stoll, I don't think, has missed a pass this afternoon, has he?
No, he's caught 3 of the 6 that Mallon has thrown.
6'4", 208-pound Chris Stoll is something else to throw a football at. I'll tell you, this guy is the most impressive receiver I've seen in the last couple of years, at least in high school football.
Well, he drove the defensive man back, and then he stopped dead. He started like he was going to go deep, and he stopped dead, and then the ball was right there when he turned around.
Perfect button. And Mallon throws the ball so nicely. He almost seems to have a pro style. He throws in the pro lanes, so to speak. And the draw play to Brian Little. Big yardage into Bumble. Vineland recovers.
They may say that the ball was down, that he was down. All
right. So they're still a yard shy of a 1st down, are the Holy Spirit Spartans. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, when a man passes as well as Mallon does, that draw works out very well.
Oh, yeah.
But he hasn't thrown the ball to his favorite one except for one pass back to number 9 here, Hallman.
Yeah, and that was a pass that set up 1st and goal at the 1. Mallon flips it up in the air to Brian Little. He's got lots of running room. Little fumbles the ball, and this
now that's a Vineland ball. That's a Vineland ball there.
Vineland recovers this
sir.
time. And they're still fighting over it down there. Number 15, Ernie Bernhardt, appears to be the man who came up with the loose ball. Well, it doesn't matter, Tony, unless they can capitalize. With 1:22 to go in the half, deep in their own territory, 25-yard line. The Clan has to march 75 yards to the end zone. The clock's running. Bernardini splits to the far side. From the wishbone, Chris Viso gives it to John Buckaloo, and he's to the 29. Tony, they're going to have to throw that ball at least once or twice to get anywhere near field goal position, and certainly if they want to score a TD.
Well, you know, it's like the other night on the Dallas game the other night. 24 seconds ago, and the other Denver scores.
Where's our 2-minute offense here? 43 seconds and running. Throw it out of bounds and stop the clock or something. 2nd and 5. a long 5. Doesn't matter. They got to move that ball upfield in a hurry. Viso wants to throw. A big rush. Throws over the middle. Incomplete over everybody. And the intended receiver for Vineland, number 32, Jim Walters. He was covered back there.
Well, the ball was overthrown. It was thrown over Walters' head. It was beyond Walters. Maybe Viso got the ball out a little too soon, and or maybe Walters was slowed down by the defense, but he wasn't out there.
Jim Travaline applied the coverage for Holy Spirit.
Joe Crescenzi's going in now, number 84.
And he's replacing Walters.
He's normally the target.
25 seconds. They have a chance to throw it up twice. The handoff is to Hart. Hart's out to the 40, but the clock's running. And do we take a timeout? 18 seconds and the clock stops.
Yeah, it's a timeout on the field.
And Vineland takes time with 18 seconds left and 60 yards to go for a score.
Coach David Heck's going out there. David's Coach Heck is the offensive coordinator.
Today's game is brought to you in part by the Vineland Chiropractic Center, 78 West Park Avenue. Now with 3 doctors on staff and longer hours, and we're open 6 days a week to serve you better. And we're proud to announce the grand opening December 1st of our first satellite clinic, the Franklinville Chiropractic Center, located at Plaza 47, 6 South Delsey Drive in Franklinville. The Vineland Chiropractic Center is expanding to make chiropractic care more available to the people in the outlying communities from this central hub here in southern New Jersey.
The central hub. Does that make you a wheel? Is that a wagon spoke?
We're just rolling along. 1st and 10, and 18 seconds is the key factor here. The ball at the Vineland 40. Bernardini splits to the near side. And let's see what they...
They're coming. They think he's going to pass, and they're coming.
He's going to throw over the middle. He's going to ball! He's to the 20! He's going to go home! Touchdown!
60 yards.
Hey, do you believe this?
60 yards.
Unbelievable. Brad Bernardini, 60-yard strike from Chris Viso. And can you believe it? With 8 seconds to play in the half.
I guess they would call that a fly pattern in pro ball.
Oh, that was beautiful. And he got the big rush at the last minute from the right side of the Holy Spirit line. And Viso just leaped in the air and threw that ball off balance. His feet were off the ground. And it's a perfect strike to Brad Bernardini for the touchdown.
Now, you see, that's the same play they ran before. Not quite the same play, because it wasn't down the sideline. And the people were saying, what's this kid can't pass? And all at once he can pass.
Well, it's 20-12.
Now they're short a man and 2 men, 81 and 53. Bernardini was over there getting congratulated, but he was supposed to be out on the field.
Congratulations can wait another 8 seconds till
Same thing,
halftime.
Matt Hart, the center, was here.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, the Holy Spirit defense, Bernardini's quick, but
Wow.
he just sort of outran everybody once he caught the ball.
Yeah, it's like the defender stopped and he just took off like a bat.
Well, maybe they thought the defenders, the defensive line was going to get the Viso and stop him. You stop a good passer, you got to get in on him.
A lot of credit to Coach John Parentazzi for what he's done with his team today against the #1 team.
Vineland's going for 2.
They're going to go for it.
Offside. Joe Crescenzi's offside. That's going to push him back now.
You think they were going to throw the ball to him, maybe?
Well,
Straight down the middle, and cut to the down
as
out
the
there in the
grandstand quarterbacks are hollering out here, now he's going to kick it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'd still go for 2. Why not? Of course, he'd make it 20-13 or 20-14. That's not for us to decide.
They should give him a choice, like in basketball, you have the 3-point play. They should have the 2-point kick, but you'd have to move it back another 10 yards.
Well, the grandstand quarterbacks are disappointed.
Changing the game before your eyes
it.
here, boys and girls. 8 seconds to play, and let's see if Vineland can get the 2-point conversion. Viso in the air, and it's almost a spectacular catch by number 84, Joe Crescenzi. He was the guy. We knew what was going on that time.
Well, there's another one. Bernardini was open on the other side, but again, the play was designed to go to Crescenzi.
And, you know, it was a well-thrown ball, and he had to throw it up a little bit beyond his reach because the defense was tenacious, and nearly pulled off a spectacular play. Nevertheless, 2012, if that's where we go in at halftime, isn't all that bad against the number one team. And Vineland certainly showing they're able to score against this team, and at least twice now able to pull off the big play against Holy Spirit. Of course, Vineland traditionally down through the years has been a big play football team.
Well, you're not supposed to be able to do that against against Holy Spirit. They don't like that. Well, that's too bad. That roughing the kicker, we can hear the grandstand quarterbacks. That roughing the kicker penalty really hurt because that gave them a first down.
You're picking them up on your headsets.
I'm picking them up on my headset.
Tony's got more than one thing going here, folks.
Yeah, you can listen. Well, they're right because that's what happened. That kid roughing when Vineland should have had the ball, and they ended up losing it.
Okay, Little and Murray. Little to the near side to receive, and here's the squibber. Milt Morris. It's batted down and fallen upon by number 25 of the Holy Spirit Spartans.
Yeah, that was a very alert play. Number 25.
John Bruno.
Fell on the ball, and he's a receiver, I think, or a fullback. He's a runner. In any case, the 4 or 5 Holy Spirit men called timeout. They were in alert. That only 2 seconds went off the clock because the clock doesn't start until it's touched by somebody. Do you think they're going to throw a bomb?
Well, you know, I almost have a feeling they're going to concede, put the knee down, let the clock run out.
No, I don't see that. Well, you could be right, but I don't see Ed Burns doing that.
Well, you got a point there.
He's not that kind of individual.
Not that kind of guy.
No.
I was thinking he might want to get this half over with so he can have a few words with his players. I really think the most important thing on his mind right now is getting these guys alone someplace. How dare you let anybody score on you?
That's right. That's right. You're not supposed to let them do that.
Who was the guy from Ohio State that had a way with
Woody Hayes?
Woody Hayes, yeah.
Yeah, that's the fella he punched.
Maybe we'll see Coach Burns at Ohio State someday. That's a terrible cheap shot. We love you, Coach. You've done a heck of a job with this team, and whether you root for Vineland or root for Holy Spirit, you got to respect the job of Coach Burns. Mallon, yeah, okay. Oh, look at this razzle-dazzle, will ya?
24.
What a way to end the first half. It's been an offensive-packed first half of play. Here at Catone Stadium, you've seen a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and 5 touchdowns on the board in the first half. As Vineland trailing Holy Spirit now 20-12 after one half of play. Could be an interesting conclusion. We'll have all that for you and some facts, figures, information, and what have you during the halftime show, too. Right now, we'll take a break to hear from a couple of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with halftime action and the second half of play coming up.
We're going to be entertained at halftime by the Vineland High School Band. Vineland High School Band, under the direction of drum major Sarah Donnelly, presents the 1988 Vineland High School Marching Clan. Today, the Marching Clan will perform El Caliente, Trepak from the Nightcracker, Lawrence of Arabia, and Ballerina Girl. This year, the Marching Clan is under the direction of Mr. William McDevitt. Staff members include Miss Patty Page and Miss Dawn Charleston as band front instructors and Mr. Mike Spina as percussion instructor. Field officers include Band Captain Lisa Bartfeld, Dance Captain Stephanie Scholl, Dance Lieutenant Marnie Ostrowski, Rifle Captain Pam Bertoldi, Rifle Lieutenant Susan Morrow, Flag Captain Disa Miko, and Flag Lieutenant Tina Malazzo. Soloists include Brian Costanzo, Brian Fleming, and David Brown. And now for your listening and viewing pleasure, the 1988 Marching Clan.
intercepted that one over there. He floated the ball. can't do it that much. Holy Spirit lifted up. Hey, they did come from one passing right now, but they did just one pass.
And we hope you're enjoying the Vineland Fighting Clan Marching Band. They're sounding really good today. In fact, offered the best rendition of the national anthem that I've had a chance to hear in some time. Too bad these kids don't have numbers, so we can tell you who they are. Today's game is brought to you in part by the Minatola Bank, serving the Vineland area for 75 years. Hiles Appliance, 3435 South Delsey Drive, Vineland. By the Cumberland County Democratic Organization, who urge you to re-elect Bill Hughes to Congress, Jim Quinn and Bill Biondi freeholders, and elect Nancy Sungenis surrogate. By Jiffy Lube, Delsey Drive and Park Avenue, Vineland, the home of the 10-minute oil change and some real nice people over there at Jiffy Lube. By the Executive Business Products Company, 210 Landis Avenue, Vineland. They have just about everything you could ever want, need, or dream of in the way of office equipment and supplies. Executive Business Products, 210 Landis Avenue, Vineland. The Lurco Fuel Oil Company, 520 Chestnut Avenue, Vineland. Call 696-8888 for home delivery. And by Bob's Auto Supply, 1289 South Delsey Drive in Vineland. And by the Vineland Chiropractic Center, 78 West Park Avenue, now with 3 doctors on staff, and announcing our grand opening December 1st of our first regional satellite clinic, the Franklinville Chiropractic Center at Plaza 47, 6 South Delsey Drive in Franklinville. Next week, by the way, the doctors at the Vineland Chiropractic Center will deliver their half millionth chiropractic adjustment. And we are rejoined by super color coordinator and commentary and statistical expert, and what else can we list here? Tony DeRazio. If I don't say it enough, let me say again publicly, it's always a pleasure to work with you year after year. Nobody does what you do better than what you do. And
is that a left-handed compliment? Or?
No, really. It's one thing, when I come to do the Vineland game, I don't have to worry, well, do I know everything I need to know about every player and everything you need to know and all of his stats, and I don't have to worry about it because you have statistics ad infinitum here.
I have a lot of numbers, too.
Yes.
That's Vineland High School band. Nice job.
Yeah. Nice camera work there, too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Fade away to the
Charlie
full
Hope.
pan there. Yeah.
Charlie Hope does great work.
He's been with us a long time, too.
Yeah.
We're building a veteran team here.
They got Otley Ewings down on the field.
Yeah.
And Milt, I don't know what his last name is, and Milt's down on the field. And,
Year after year, we keep coming back.
And
must be the money.
Paul Kell, too. I think that's his first name. I know his dad. But anyway, Mr. Kell down in the truck is our director. And
He's
producer.
a pro, too. One of the best.
Doing a
He
great
has his
job.
own van. He has all his own equipment in there.
Okay, I'd like to go over some statistics here, Mike.
No.
Vineland had 143 yards rushing and 60 yards passing, so that gives them 183 yards.
Let me interrupt just a moment. You know, there's one very sad statistic on this game, Tony.
What's that?
And you and I know that when halftime comes, there's always something we look forward to, usually a piece of pizza. And did you know they sold out all the pizza today before halftime? Now, there's a down statistic for you.
And they had 13 pizzas besides. I know
Only
that for a fact.
13. Man, they must not have planned on a big crowd today.
Well, last time they
The
only
players could eat that much pizza.
No, last time they had 8 pizzas.
The offensive line could eat that much pizza.
Okay.
Milt Morris could eat that much pizza.
Well, Vineland is out rushing Holy Spirit. Vineland had 143 yards rushing as opposed to 61 yards rushing for Holy Spirit. But Millville, I'm thinking way ahead.
They're here today.
Holy
They have
Spirit.
nothing better to do than come watch a football game.
Holy Spirit gained 113 yards passing on 4 for 7 passing, where Vineland was only 1 for 3, but Vineland 1 for 3 and 60 yards. Holy Spirit ended up with a total of 174 yards, and Vineland had 183 yards. So far in the first half, Buckaloo has 11 carries for 58 yards. Hicks has 2 carries for 16, and Kevin Hart has 8 carries for 69 yards. For Holy Spirit, Brian Little has 6 carries for 20 yards, and Chris Murray has 9 carries for 41 yards on official statistics, of course. And as I said, Mallon is 4 for 7 for 113 yards, but he's continuing his usual thing. Mallon.
He's impressive.
Yes, he is an impressive fella. And, I think we better mention somebody else, too, now, the cheerleaders.
Yes.
They're out there, and they're skimpy costumes.
In the cold.
In the cold, that's right. It's a cold day out there. I just went out there a little bit, and I can still feel it.
And we're hoping on their behalf that it does not rain. It's threatening.
No,
I don't think so. The
no,
clouds
it
are
won't.
too high.
It won't rain. But in any case, let me go down the names of the cheerleaders who are coached by Mrs. Diane Maniatis. The captain and 2 captains, Dawn Bell and Sandy DeMauro.
Do we have height, weight, and class, Tony?
Yeah, we have. They're seniors. Kristen Schmidt is a senior. Tiffany Hartzell, Mary Jane Grissmeyer, Michelle Simoni, Krista DeJong, Gina McCann, Carolyn Hippolito, Lisa Zoner. And then the juniors are Christy Ostroff, Heather Scott, Tara Dar, Colleen Yakow, Carol Taranova, Gina Panzino, Belinda Cohen, Amy Franks, Denise Desiri, and Christine D'Amato. And the manager is Cindy Murphy.
You know,
And the mascot is Tony Evangelista. Now, there's an Italian name.
yes, indeedy. So, I think we need to have a proposal that the cheerleaders begin to wear numbers and appear in the program. I mean, they're an integral part of the game. They're the only players in this game that don't get hurt.
Well, they have had cheerleaders, too, that have had bad knees and bad feet, and they've been injured. In fact, some of these college cheerleaders, I've seen them with knee braces and the like.
They probably get hit when the guy runs out of bounds and knocks them over.
Well, but you know as well as I, the constant practicing, too, that your legs take quite a beating in the routines that they go through. And
especially those pyramids they've
had. Well, I think they put some kind of a ban on those pyramids, too.
Is that right?
Because people have been hurt.
Always the
pyramids.
poor girl on the top,
Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned a little bit more about Vineland sports yesterday in girls soccer. The girls who have a beautiful record of 10-1, defeated Clayton 6-0. And in boys soccer, they defeated Absegami 7-0, which makes Vineland 8-0-2, and they're still in first place. This is a second trip around now in the conference, and this decides whether or not they're going to end up in the conference title again.
They're a bunch of domestic soccer-style kickers.
Girls tennis defeated Absegami 4.5 to 1.5, and their record is 5-5, and they're doing quite well this season too. So the Vineland sports are doing. Field hockey girls are coming along. They've had their problems this season, but all in all, sports is a good way for kids to enjoy part of their high school career. As you can see by the kids from Delsey, that they didn't miss school too much. What they did miss was the scholastic competition. That going back to school as late as they did in the week, the games were not played this weekend. So Delsey sports didn't play this week. One thing felt good about though is watching, and it's not nice, but When Coach Burns went out.
Tell me then. Tell me.
When Coach Burns harangued his team
That was
about
great. That was a
Vineland,
highlight. That's going to be our highlight film after the game.
about letting Vineland come down the field as far as they did, and immediately after that, John Buckaloo went about 14 yards for a touchdown. And it reminds me of many times in a baseball game where the manager comes out and speaks to the pitcher about how to pitch with a certain batter, and boom, there goes a home run.
I called it a hazing experience, as in Woody Hayes.
But
hey, look at this. We're ready to play football. There's Milt Martin. There's nobody out for the other team. Oh, here they come. Milt says, come on, we've got to get back in this game.
well, that's the thing. Vineland has played a half of each game and so far, and I hope that the second half of this game will be at least on a par with the first half.
If I was Vineland, I'd definitely get back in this game. I definitely would have tried to score at halftime, Tony. That's all I can tell you. I mean, run a play. There's nobody out there.
Well, I don't know about this one team that tried to score and they couldn't. The other team was in the end zone and in the locker room rather. But that's
so all you have to do is you keep the ball. See, when you run off the field.
Is that it?
All right, now we'll get into some real action. There's some right
Nice
there.
kick.
There's another one of them side benders there. And that is Chris Murray at the 5. Now you see him at the 15. See Chris Murray run. Chris is out to the 22-yard line.
Strong runner, strong runner.
See Chris run.
There's a young man I noticed out there, Chris Learn, 6'1", 221, offensive tackle, a senior. He looks a lot bigger than 221 for Holy Spirit.
Which number is he again, Tony?
71.
71, right. Yeah, there he is. He does look like a big guy. See him? Not without your binoculars, right? There he is. I got my finger on him right there. Okay, there goes Chris Murray, and he's got about 4 yards to the 26-yard line, but a little yellow flag down over there.
Well, that'd be nice if it was for Holy. Well, we can't say that. Yes, we can.
Cheerlead.
This game is not seen in Holy Spirit.
We're the senior cheerleaders for this team.
Hold. Oh, no. Illegal use of the hands against Vineland.
Ah.
And Coach Dave Heck is saying, what's going on? Here comes Coach Parentazzi, too. What?
Yeah.
They want to know what's happening.
Maybe Coach Parentazzi should go out and shove the Holy Spirit kids around a little bit.
Oh, there goes that penalty. Look at that.
Well, that'll give him the first down.
And then some.
You know, it's so darn important that we don't have the classic third quarter letdown, as they say.
It's a 10-yard penalty, and that hurts. It gives you a first down.
That hurts you right between the yard markers, Tony.
Touche.
11:19 to go here in the third quarter. Chris Murray.
Nothing.
Buckaloo's got him. You think as a ball carrier himself that he would tend to hit the other players with some, a little lighter, just kind of hold them there till the whistle blows,
Sure.
Do unto others.
If you want to play, you don't do that. You know that. And I know you're just being kidding.
Just kidding. We do reserve the right to tell bad jokes in between the plays. Here's your buddy Kevin Hallman coming to the near side. He's defended. Look at that tenacious defense. Mallon, though, is gone out to number 88. Stoll again. And he gets about 5 or 6 yards. But he is 4 for 4 in receptions. I haven't seen Chris Stoll miss a pass today.
That's right.
And he's caught every type of pass thrown to him. And the danger occurs once he catches the ball because he's huge, 6'4", 208, and he's real tough to bring down, number 88. Now, number 9, Kevin Hallman comes split to the near side. It's 3rd and 4. Mallon over the middle. It is nearly picked off by John Buckaloo, incomplete. And number 50 in there for Vineland, too. John Hersey again. He's been all over the field today.
Well, they're not. Holy Spirit does throw to the backs coming out of the backfield. They will throw a short pass, and of course, he's not reluctant to throw the long pass. And you've got a lot to look for when you're on defense. A lot to look for.
I think there should be a 5-yard penalty for running out of pizza.
This is the first time they've had to punt.
What? What are they going to do?
Matola.
Ooh, not bad. Good high school kick. Takes the Vineland bounce. And is impaled at the 36-yard line. by number 11 of the Holy Spirit Spartans. Where's number 11 anyway? He's on this page. It's Dan Bordenaro. He could play for our team.
Dan Bordenaro, if I remember correctly, last week he caught a blocked the kicker, intercepted a pass last week.
Okay, 1st and 10 Vineland. Boy, good to see the red and gray back in control of that football. Ooh, Mr. Buckaloo gets about 3. And I'm looking to see who got off the bottom of the pile for Holy Spirit, but nobody went down for Holy Spirit, so who did make that tackle?
Didn't notice on that time, Mike. I missed that.
You're supposed to make one up. That was Willie Hart in there on the stop.
It couldn't have been because he plays for Vineland.
Oh. It's 2nd and 7. Liso gives it to Hart, and he's trying to get that 7. He might have it. Hey, the sun's out, getting into a pretty afternoon. Some blue sky breaking through the high
Timeout for
clouds
measurement
today.
they're going to measure. Timeout to measure that. Hart runs very hard. Hart thus far this season has had a good season for Vineland.
Yeah.
Hart's 48 carries at 261 yards, is 5.4 yards per carry, and he's got 2 touchdowns, and already today he has 69 yards.
And he leads the team in rushing.
Yes, he does. He's had 200-yard days. 2 100-yard days. Well, just about the length of your finger.
Come on.
We've had several like that, haven't we?
These guys just want to earn their money, that's all. Okay, guys, 3rd and about 4 inches. We've got to punch it through here. Maybe a little quarterback sneak. Or how, well, no, you can't risk the quick pass over the middle, can you? Buckaloo, and he ought to have it. He ought to have it. By a toenail, anyway. So, assuming that'll give us 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Tough yards, but Buckaloo can get them for you.
Boy, he didn't get it by much. I mean, they're going to measure it. They're going to measure
Oh,
again.
come on. That's...
I think these guys are Korean officials, Tony.
Well, but again, it may not be that they want the thing done. If the opponent asks for the measurement, you have to give them the measurement.
Ooh, let's see. You've got the bird's eye, the worm's eye view there. They got it.
By just a little, but they got it, and that's all that matters. How about like a long count?
1st and 10 for the Clan. And this is Kevin Hart. And you get about 2. And Milton Morris has a few words with somebody a great deal smaller than he is. And nobody, the official, isn't breaking it up. So he's over there with number 73. And where is he? He should be on our chart here. Chris Alcoba, 5'10", 216-pounder. Having words with 6'5", 275-pound Milton Morris. Looked like the Eagles in the first half last week after they were down 16-0. They were punching everybody. The guys have learned how to fight now without getting kicked out of the game. They kind of just push shoulder pads, you know. Of course, they've gotten smart enough to know that it hurts when you get your fist caught in a face mask, too. 2nd and 8. Oops. That was an oops. And it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And little number 11 down there for Holy Spirit. He's not on my list here either.
Gets Holy Spirit.
This is getting out of line here. We're going to leave this over here. That was Dan Bordenaro again. He was saying, come on, what do you mean we're offsides? Well, that certainly helps. 2nd and 3. And it puts the ball in Holy Spirit territory at the 48-yard line. Bernardini splits wide to the near side. Kevin Hart is the slot back on the right side. And Buckaloo gets about 3. He's going to be apparently shy of the first down, however. Well, we're using up the clock. 7:15 to go in the third quarter. All the scoring having taken place in the first half. It's 20-12, Holy Spirit. But you got to give Vineland a lot of credit, scoring 2 first-half touchdowns against the #1 team in South Jersey. We apologize for some audio difficulties here this afternoon. First down, Vineland High. And let's see who gets up.
Buckaloo.
Buckaloo carried the football again.
You know, the Klan is really moving the ball much better than they have, you know, in other games against Absegami, against Atlantic City, and like in the first half, they really didn't have trouble moving the ball. Right now, this is the third quarter that they are playing good football.
Yep, good to see it. They got to hang in there tough in the third, shut down Holy Spirit's offense, and the best way to do that is do what they're doing, hang on to that ball. Here's Viso on the option play, and Viso has running room to the 37 or 38-yard line of Holy Spirit.
That's the first time he's carried today. He hasn't carried that much during the season.
Nice close-up shot there of the Vineland players.
Bezos actually carried 18 times. Of course, there are times in there where he gets nailed for loss going back to pass, and that hurts your stats.
You see that ball at the 36.5-yard line. It's 2nd and 3. This is Kevin Hart. And he's got the first down at the 30-yard line.
Tough runner. Tough
Nice.
runner.
Nice.
Really popping him. Really popping him. There's a Holy Spirit man down.
Try to get his number for you. He's hurt. And now he gets up, and that's number 44 for the Holy Spirit Spartans. Steve Wilkins has had a good defensive game today.
6 foot, 185-pound senior. Tough ball player.
The colorful game. You know, Holy Spirit has the blue and gold and white, and Vineland the red and gray, and if you're watching in color, which is something we're not, we're watching a black and white monitor, but should make for a nice telecast on your color TVs at home. Well, it's first down at the just outside the 30. Buckaloo.
No.
Oh, who has the ball?
You got faked out too.
Yeah.
I think it had to be Hart.
Yep.
Up 24. You have
Doesn't get
24 Hart.
anything.
We're stuck. No gain.
2nd and 10.
You know, that was a little different too. He faked the ball to the man on the right and did a spin and handed it off to Hart on the left. And then Holy Spirit must have anticipated that because they were sitting right there waiting for him.
Now, Vineland cannot afford to let this drive stall. They've moved the ball admirably. They're down to the 31-yard line of Holy Spirit with a 2nd and 10. They actually lost a foot on that last play.
Spot for a pass.
Yeah, 2 receivers split wide left side. Buckaloo up the middle. You know, if he had stayed on his feet, he might have gone some distance unimpeded.
Yeah,
but tripped up there.
But you know what happens there sometimes too, you expect opposition in front of you and you don't get it. Nobody there to stop you. And you sort of fall forward on your face. Down on it for Vineland.
It's like William Hicks. It is.
Yeah, that's the second time he's had a
little wobbly, but he'll make it off the field under his own power.
I'm sure when he gets out there, somebody plays a block to him every time, you know, that let you know that they're there.
Look at that great close-up shot on our monitor here. Okay, it's 3rd and 6 for Vineland.
You know, I made the mistake last game of saying it was Coach LeBoy. In fact, the gentleman with Mr. Hicks is Dr. Joe Bernardini, the team physician.
.408 to go in the third quarter. Viso, Buckaloo breaking into the clear across the 20-yard line. And it should be enough for a Vineland first down. A big third down conversion for the Fighting Clan.
Somebody had Buckaloo by the jersey and couldn't hold him anyway. And that was the same play that we just talked about. They had an opening, and if he'd stayed on his feet, he would have made some ground. They must have heard you, Mike, because he ran the same play, stayed on his feet, and made 8 yards.
Boy, we needed to get that one. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Vineland on the march. They trail by 8. 20-12, late in the third quarter. This is Hart. He's tripped up. Nice stop by number 42. That's Paul Elko, 6'1", 174-pound junior. There's a marker. Penalty marker down at the 15-yard line, and
hold against Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Hold or face mask.
Like a hold sign. They're talking to John Buckaloo, number 40, the co-captain. And what's this going to be, a half? Looks like it. I'm going to put it down at about the 10-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 1 from the 10. 1st and 1. No, wait a minute.
9.5-yard line.
Well,
don't get confused now, but Willie Hart.
It's 1st down in inches. You don't see that too often.
Willie Hart, number 43, is in the backfield, along with Kevin Hart.
All right.
43 replacing 23. Dr. Bernardini still working on Higgs. Number 76 for Chris Tortu, 6'4", 260 defensive tackle. He's a sophomore, Mike. 76 standing in the middle of that
look
line.
At the size of him, would you?
Sophomore. I'd like to tell him he should be home by 10 o'clock at night.
Do they have the curfew there, too? I understand the Vineland players can't be out after 10:30.
I'm just talking about his mom and dad. 6'4", 260.
No, but I bet you Coach Burns gets him in by 10.
Sure.
Woody, baby.
331.
It's 2nd and a couple of inches, and you know, all right. Kevin Hart. Yeah, he's got the 1st down at the 5-yard line. Vineland moving the ball real nice against this defensive line.
Well, see, Vineland did the same thing against Pemberton. The first quarter of the Pemberton game, Vineland moved the ball excellently against Pemberton. And then all at once something, as far as the 20, and then things would happen. And in fact, even against Atlantic City. But now, Vineland against Holy Spirit, a team that is reputedly one of the better teams in Jersey. And Vineland's moving against them almost at will.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Boy, do we need a 6-pointer here. We only down 2 points if Vineland can score here against the number 1 team. Viso, Kevin Hart, he's to the 4.
And you know, actually, there's only been one occasion where Vineland runners would stop for no gain. And of course, there were 2 other instances where there were bad pitches and they ended up losing about 19 yards. But you take away those negative aspects, and Vineland ball carriers advance the ball every time they've had their hands on the ball.
They can't make a mistake now. They're knocking on the door of the end zone. They're trailing by 8. If they get it in, they're trailing by 2 max, and maybe they can go for the 2-point conversion. 2nd and goal from the 4. Viso, he's a give it to. 1st man through. It's a touchdown. Touchdown. Let's see who scored it for Vineland.
24.
Kevin Hart, touchdown, 4-yard run, and we have a 2018 football game with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the third quarter. Kevin Hart takes it in for 4 yards out. Boy, that 20-18 looks real good on the scoreboard right now.
That was one heck of a drive Vineland made that sequence.
The running attack has been just methodical in this game against a great defense.
They started from about the 25-yard line, so that's 25. They went 75 yards in that sequence.
Yes.
If they run a 2-point play, and Coach Dave Heck's going in right now, if they can run that 2-point play, that'll tie the ball game. Boy. And that would really do something for Holy.
And look at the Vineland players. I hope we can get a camera shot on the near side. The guys on the bench, are they psyched?
Well, you know,
They got to go for the 2 points.
that 2-point play they ran before to Crescenzi was just out of his reach. He couldn't get his hand on it. But on the other side of the field, Bernardini was wide open.
Just bang it up the middle. The running
Well,
attack is working so well. Just take it at him.
But you know, you're right in the sense that because of the end zone, the defense is working in a very small area. They can really watch things closely.
Tell you one thing, it might be clearing a little bit, but it's getting a lot colder. Okay,
Haydak.
Robert Haydak splits wide to the near side. The
Kevin
backs
Hart.
are in the I formation. They're going for the 2-point conversion. Viso rolling to the right side. He's got running room. Now he throws to the end zone. Complete to Buffalo. And Vineland has tied Holy Spirit. 20-20 with 2:16 to go.
Good play, great play. Holy Spirit didn't anticipate that at all. Great play. Here goes Coach Parentazzi on the field.
Yes.
And Coach, so one of the Vineland players is hurt. Let's see who that is. He's trying to get up.
What a valiant effort by the Vineland Fighting Clan. They are now nose to nose, 20-20, as we are just 2 minutes and 16 seconds away from the fourth quarter. Vineland had been down 2 touchdowns. They trailed at halftime 20-6. Now 20-12. So they got that touchdown with 8 seconds left in the half. And Vineland rallies back from 2 touchdowns down to tie it up at 20, and who would have believed it, against the #1 team.
You know, this could be the making of Chris Viso as really a good quarterback. I mean, he had the presence of mind. That was Haydak that they just came off the field.
Yep.
But he had the presence of mind to know that he was going to be tackled and they wouldn't have been able to score. And then he threw that pass to Buckaloo, who was wide open. People forget that even though Viso's a senior, this is his first year as a starting quarterback, and it does make a difference.
So it's nice to see that Vineland offense
yeah.
beginning to gel. Just like starting over, it's 20-20.
And this good crowd here today, thank goodness.
14 minutes and 16 seconds left to play today. Morris with a beautiful high end over end hang time kick at the 10-yard line. This is Chris Murray, and is he driven to the ground? Beautiful tackle. There's a fumble. Vineland recovers.
Ivan Hale is the one that number 31 for Vineland. Ivan Hale, 6'3", 185
What a
pound
hit.
junior. Laid one on him, and he dropped the ball.
Oh, boy, I tell you, I'm ready to join the cheerleaders right now. Let's go, Vineland.
Let's go now.
Let's get another one quick. Let's take the lead into the fourth quarter.
I'll tell
This
you
is
what.
a beauty, the makings of an upset
I'll tell
here
you
at
what.
Catone Stadium.
I think the Holy Spirit might have trouble coming back if they get behind, because maybe they're not used to that kind of thing.
All right, 1st and 10, Vineland at the Holy Spirit 29-yard line. There's some motion. It's Buckaloo up the middle, big gainer for about 8 yards. Buckaloo to the 22.
No flag.
Oh, this team is playing inspired football right now, and they've got to hang on to that football.
Well, you know, it's good to see Buckaloo coming out like he is. He's had some early problems. He hasn't carried the ball much early in the season, and Buckaloo's really coming into his own the way he was last year, and it's good to see that, because this team needs a running back like that. When Joe Basil comes back, too, when you have 2 guys that can do that. And, of course, you've got Hart and Hicks. Hey, nice. The season bodes well for the future.
All right, nobody split wide. Yes, I'm sorry. Bernardini, it looks like, to the far side. And there's Buckaloo, and he's hammered this time for no gain. Big hit by number 73, it looks like. I'm trying to pick out Chris Alcoba. Really put a hit on John Buckaloo to stop him. It's 3rd and 1, and that was a big defensive play on 2nd and 2.
Well, that's, you know, the Holy Spirit men were excited because they finally stopped Buckaloo, and they should be excited. Number 20, no, that's a mistake there.
Vineland's got to dig deep into the well and keep that spirit alive here and keep that momentum going. They have got to convert this 3rd and 1 at the 20-yard line. Viso gives it to Hart.
Flag on a play.
Inside the 15 to the 12.
Flag on a play.
Willie Hart, but we have that penalty marker.
No, it's Billy Hicks.
Sorry.
William Hicks, and he's hurt again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's against Vineland.
Uh-oh.
Penalty against Vineland.
Uh-oh. In most unfortunate that Hicks is down and he is hurt, and he's lying motionless face down right now.
Yeah, he may have picked up about 9 yards on that play, too. Down to the 10-yard line. But there's a penalty it's going to cost you.
They're getting him up. You know, if he's getting hurt this bad, you'd almost like to see him try to sit this one out. I know it's the big game, but we've got other guys that can run the ball, and we want Mr. Hicks back in there next Saturday afternoon. Get him off the field. Maybe we can get a shot of that on the near side. There he is. Nice camera work. All right, we'll be right back with more exciting Vineland High football in just a moment. All right, just 12 minutes left to go in this game. It's become a thriller here this afternoon at Catone Stadium. Dr. Michael Harvey and Tony DeRazio, our pleasure to bring you one of the best Vineland games in years. Great football game today, as your Fighting Clan is taking on the #1 team in South Jersey, the Holy Spirit Spartans. They fought to a 20-20 tie. Vineland, first down, third down at the 25, and up the middle is Kevin Hart, shy of the first down by at least a couple of yards at the 21. Fourth and a long 2, Tony. Decision-making time. What do you call?
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's fourth. They got down fourth and a long 2. No, I think he's going to try something. Sure, why not?
Remember, Vineland got the football back after the touchdown. They kicked it off, and Chris Murray fumbled the football.
Yeah, Ivan Hale put the blocks to him.
Oh, Ivan Hale, number 31, really leveled a hit on Murray. He coughed up the ball, giving Vineland now a chance to go in and take the lead, but they have a fourth, and we're going to call it 3. 4th and 3, and there is a timeout on the field. And since we got lax during the third quarter keeping up with our commercial schedule, let's take a break for just a moment and hear from one of our fine sponsors. Don't go away. Lots of excitement still coming as we come down the home stretch on this one. 2020 Vineland Holy Spirit. We'll be right back.
Seems strange. There aren't too many passes thrown in this game. There have only been about 8 passes thrown, but only one of them been thrown to the outstanding end, Coleman. So when Holy Spirit gets the ball back, maybe just to go away from number 88, they're going to go to number 9.
All right, Robert Haydack splits to the far side. Kevin Hart is the slot back on the right side. They've shifted out of the eye now. The backs are open behind Chris Viso, and they're not going to get the first down. Holy Spirit holds, and that's a big, big defensive play.
It's like they anticipated who the ball was going to, and I guess it must have been Buckaloo, was it? Yeah, it was. They only picked up about a yard on that play.
Steve Wilkins, number 44, has played a great game on defense today, makes the stop on John Buckaloo, and Vineland is forced to turn it over on downs.
Now, see, that they anticipated the ball going to Buckaloo that time. That's, I really don't know, but it would just seem that because 3 or 4 fellas were standing right there, and they keyed on him. And look for this arm to open up.
All right.
And you can bet Coach Burns did some burning.
It's the Al Mallon show once again. 11:22 to go in the game. Holy Spirit 1st and 10 from their own 22. This is Little, and he's not going to get much. John Buckaloo assisting on the tackle. And it looks like the first man to make the hit for Vineland was number 70, T.J. Patch.
I'll tell you, this defensive line and the offensive line for Vineland, everybody that played in that line today has really done a job. And, of course, the secondary has done a pretty good job, but coming in and filling in the holes.
Well, we're looking at what, a possible overtime here today. Don't they have some sort of a 5-minute thing now in high school football? We'll find out if it comes to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Who's that? Buckaloo. No, that was Willie Hart.
Willie Hart. Woo! Dropped Chris Murray in his tracks at the 20-yard line. A loss of 2. It's 3rd and 12.
He knew what they blitz. Now, that's one thing Vineland doesn't do very much of, and blitz.
We'll have another opportunity to get some more points on the board.
Jeff Matola doesn't really flub it on his punts very much. He's going to be kicking. The line of scrimmage is at 20. He's back about the 5-yard line. Let's see how far he boots this one, but we should get a good shot at getting the ball in the Holy Spirit territory.
All right.
Yeah, everybody's hollering. Let him
Jeff
kick it.
Vitola. Oh, okay, gets it away. It's going to be, hang on to that football,
All right.
Kevin Hart. At midfield, Vineland with great field position will take it over 1st and 10 with 9:46 left to play in the game. The score tied at 20.
Should we write a scenario now, Mike?
Well, I tell you, this is
Down within field goal
this is
range.
an upset developing before our very eyes.
That's a 45-yard punt, though, from the place he kicked it.
Yes.
Vineland's got the ball on the 50.
All right, Brad Bernardini flanks to the near side. They're
I'd look
back
for
in the wishbone again. From midfield, this could be the drive that wins it for Vineland. Buckaloo, however, stopped after a 1.5 gain. Boy, that internal line of Holy Spirit is playing determined defensive football right now.
Well, right now it seems like the same play happens. The first down, Buckaloo gets the ball. Maybe they're keying on him.
They're running at Chris Alcoba, too, 5'10", 216, and he is something to try to run against. This guy is, he's built square. He's a square kind of guy, and he just can't run through this guy.
This Vineland coaching staff is not playing for a tie. They're going to play to win. They're going to throw a pass in here. Haydack down on the side here. The last week, or rather against Absegami, against Atlantic City, there was a nice pass thrown to Haydack going into the left side and just off his hands. And they're not really watching him too much. He only has one man on him, and he could go one-on-one to anybody. And Crescenzi hasn't been through. Crescenzi was thrown to just for that 2-point play earlier in the game. So he's one for 3 for 60 yards for Chris Viso.
You got to admire Vineland. I mean, the game they have played against Holy Spirit today, this is nothing less than remarkable. You know, this team wins this game. Not only is it a big upset, but folks, Vineland High has arrived in Cape Atlantic 1. Well, we still have 9:11 to go, so let's not jump ahead of ourselves here. 2nd and a long 8. They got to get some yardage this time. Viso on the run gets about 3 to the 46.
Well, that's changing things a little bit anyway now. They've got to keep an eye. Now, unfortunately, you get in a position where 3rd down, he'll probably have to pass. But again, high school, you really can't say that it's a definite passing down. If it was Holy Spirit, you would say a passing down.
Number 33, Don Keck, made the tackle on Chris Viso that time. 3rd and 5. Big play. Big play for the offense and big play for the defense. It's all coming down to the wire in a 20-20 tie. 3rd and a long 5. And offsides. But I think Holy Spirit
moved, and so did. That's right. Holy Spirit moved first, I thought.
I did too. I'm trying to pick out his number there. The guy next number 8 moved.
No.
Saw Kevin Brewster move, but it's going to go against Vineland nonetheless. That moves it back into Vineland territory at the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Now, see, that's one of those little things now, you know. 5 yards more, it makes it a little difficult on 3rd down.
Call it 3rd and 11.
Let's go for 1st down. That's it, try a little pass for 1st down.
8:15 to play in the game. All tied at 20.
Bernardini's put out to this side.
Yes. See if they go to him. Viso looking downfield, throwing for Bernardini. He's open, and he's just a bit overthrown. He was wide open. That ball had touchdown written on it, just a little bit overthrown, and that would have been the go-ahead.
He would look back over his shoulder, and there's a sun. Is the sun in his eyes there? Which way is the sun coming right now? He looked back over his shoulder, and when he looked back over his shoulder, that's what hurt. But he had to look back, but he was ahead of his man.
Great pass. Viso led him well. He had thrown beyond the coverage and just beyond the reach of Bernardini. High snap. They'll get it away. Nice punt. Haydack kicking it down. It's at the 9-yard line. O'Brien Little is decked at the 6. All right, number 63 on the tackle for Vineland High that time. That is Roger Marandino. Big defensive play.
Vineland picked up some ground on an exchange of punts because when they kicked out, Holy Spirit had the ball on the 20. When Vineland kicked back, Holy Spirit now has the ball on the 7. Vineland picked up 13 yards on that exchange. I'll swap 13.
Vineland's not losing a beat to the number 1 team at all today.
They're impressing people.
Playing them head-to-head. Boy, this is going to look good for Vineland if they can pull off the upset today. Maybe get ranked in the top 10 or 15.
But there's going to be passing in there.
There's a lot of ground that time chewed up. Shy by a couple of yards of the 1st down, but Chris Murray picks up 8 yards off right tackle for Holy Spirit. Tony, I'll tell you one thing. It's a good thing the game's heating up because it's starting to get darn cold here in the press box.
Put your coat on.
What coat?
Close the window.
Yeah, close the window. Well, then we'd lose our external microphone. All right. Here's Murray. Better get him. We already got the first down. Now, Holy Spirit's starting to move that ball at will last couple of plays off the line of scrimmage there.
Well, yeah, those 2 plays, but and he's staying down. 32, Murray is staying down now.
Yeah.
Injury timeout.
You hate to see the kids get hurt. Football's such a great game, but what it does to your body.
Well, you know, the expression is he got his bell rung. Sure, and it could be like if 2 helmets banged into each other or somebody's knee hit your helmet, then you'll get your bell rung. Get the wind knocked out of you. But it does slow you down. The next time you carry the ball, you might be a little reluctant. You know, like they talk about in the NFL when you start hearing footsteps.
Yeah. Especially the way those guys hit. Well, Chris Murray may be done for the afternoon.
It's hard. Yeah.
7 minutes and 2 seconds to play now. 20-20 tie. Vineland, Holy Spirit. Nobody would have believed that these 2 teams would be deadlocked with 7 minutes to play. And Vineland has more than held its own.
Murray's limping off.
Yeah.
Well, they'll take care of him. You know, if they can, they'll fix him up and he'll be able to come back on.
Amazing what they can do.
Now let's see who took his place in the backfield. It's hard to make out the number who's going in there now.
All right. The I formation this time. And looks like Little. Brian Little carries for about 5 yards.
He'll be the primary carrier now instead of Murray.
Maybe they'll decide to go to Kevin Hallman, number 9. He looked like he was itchy to catch something that time, but it was a running play.
He has only caught 1 pass, and he has been the main target this season and last season. So it's a little surprising that that's the case.
Well, Stoll's in there. He's only missed 1 out of 5 passes thrown his way today.
Sam Mullen is the other back in there.
2nd and 5. Mallon upfield. He's got Stoll for a big first down at the 40-yard line.
But see, they let him catch it first, and then they get him, and it's pretty hard to stop him.
Robert Haydack with a good hit that time for Vineland. Stoll has caught 5 out of 6 passes today. Hard to believe that the other guy's supposed to be more highly touted than Chris Stoll,
well,
Kevin Hallman.
Yeah, well, see, of course, everybody watched number 9. Even the scouting report, you have to watch number 9, but they also said you have to watch 88.
Mr. Mallon throws a beautiful 25-yard pass on the line drive upfield. Mallon rolling to the near side. He got lots of time. Throwing over the middle. Great catch by Stoll, but he drops it. I believe that's going to be ruled an incompletion, and it is.
That's right.
Coverage that time, number 54 for the Vineland Fighting Clan.
See, he cut it off short, and if he caught the
John
ball...
Perez.
He cut his run off short, his pattern off short, and he was open when the ball came. When he fell, he lost the ball, but he was open. Clever runners. They do a nice job on their patterns. And you're afraid to let them get behind you, so you stay back a little bit.
5:43 to play in the game. It's tied at 20. Holy Spirit in their own territory at the 40, 2nd and 10. This is to the new guy in the backfield. He's not going to go anywhere. Number 36
Sam
for
Mullen.
Sam Mullen is his name?
That's right.
Sam Mullen, 5'10", 167. He's only a sophomore. 1 yard pickup. It's 3rd and 9.
They used Mullen last week. He had 3 carries for 13 yards last week.
Both teams have been really tight on the defense throughout the entire 4th quarter.
Well, you know it's going to be a pass in here.
We've only had the 1 touchdown scored in the second half. We had 5 put up there in the first half. Mallon, look at the protection he gets. Long down the far side, wide open and caught. Brian Little. Little is in the clear, and Little is going to maybe win this game for Holy Spirit. What an incredible 59-yard touchdown pass as somebody missed a tackling assignment. Somebody missed Brian Little. The Holy Spirit fans and players on the far side of the field are ecstatic. The Spartans have jumped out to a 20 6-20 lead with 4:51 to play in the game. Incredible. Incredible. Wasn't that 3rd and 9?
3rd and 9, that's right.
4:51 to play in the game. Mallon, 59-yard touchdown pass to Brian Little. They attempt the conversion. It's a beauty. 27-20 with 4:51 to play. Holy Spirit back on top. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Oh, you knew it had to happen, Mike. That long pass and the missed tackle. Touchdown, Holy Spirit.
We got time. Just about 5 full minutes left. Our turn.
Lots of time. Lots of
Get
time.
back in there and tie this game. Maybe go for the conversion. Go for the win. Oh, we got to get it down to the end zone first. Bernardini is going to be the middleman deep. That's not Hicks back in there, is it?
23?
Is that 23 or 43?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's 23.
23. Oh, my goodness. William Hicks is back in the game. Kevin Hart is the deep back on the far side for Vineland. Jeff Matola, one of the best kickers in high school football, has done a great job today. Had a streak broken after 2 years with a block. He didn't miss it. It was blocked. All right. This is William Hicks. Let's see what he has left. He's getting outside. Hicks cutting up the middle. Hicks trying to get away. And he gets out with a valiant effort to the 27-yard line before he is hauled down by a host of white jerseys. And leading the attack for the Holy Spirit Spartans, number 14, Jeff Matola, the kicker.
Well, you know, he ran into a couple of his own blockers as he cut back. Of course, he didn't know where he was going, and neither did the blockers, and he ran into his own blockers where he might have picked up a few more yards, but that's hustle.
I like the way he was thinking there. You could see he was thinking, I got to break this one. I got to break this one. We got to get right back in the game. And that's the spirit and the intensity with which the Fighting Clan has played all afternoon. 27-20, Holy Spirit now back in the driver's seat. Can Vineland do it with 4.5 minutes to play? This one's overthrown. Intended for Hallman, number 6 on the near side.
No.
I'm sorry.
It was intended for Bernardini. But Bernardini stopped running, and the ball was... That's one thing it seems like that's been happening. They sort of been stopping their patterns. But Bernardini seemed to stop and look back, and the ball was over his head. But he was running... The pass was thrown to the sideline, which is where it was supposed to be thrown.
Okay, so we're at the 27-yard line. 2nd and 10 for Vineland. They got to move the ball now. No choice. 4 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the game. Viso, the handoff is to Kevin Hart. Big hole! First down at the 49-yard line. What a play by Kevin Hart.
Just when you think you've got them bottled up, here they come again.
Let's go, Vineland. We've done it. We've come back from 2 touchdowns down. We can come back from a 7-point deficit. 4:10 left to play. The clock's running.
Some of the players down on the bench here, now 42, number 20, were urging the people in the stands, let's go, let noise, and they're right. Cheerleaders are down there trying to get things
Crowd
hooked up
starting to
too.
whoop it up a little bit. Vineland has played great football here this afternoon. Take nothing away from this Fighting Clan team. Viso wants to throw over the middle. It is picked off by Holman at the 21-yard line, and that's what couldn't happen, and it did. I'm sorry, that's number 6 back there for Holy Spirit. Sam Rando with the interception. Holman being number 9.
Right, he did the same thing last week against Ocean City. He intercepted that pass.
It was a well-thrown football.
That's
Most
right.
unfortunate. He had to throw it in heavy coverage. Vineland needed to make up some yardage in a big hurry, and it backfires.
Well, that's only the first pass that's been thrown to Crescenzi, and Crescenzi had been the mainstay as far as the passing attack was concerned. And, well, they anticipated it. He had double coverage.
3 minutes and 41 seconds left to play. Holy Spirit has the football back. They have a 7-point, 27-20 lead in case you joined us late. First and 10 from the 21-yard line. It's up to the Vineland defense to hold them and get the ball back. 3.5 minutes to play. Brian Little, and the defense does its job.
Buckaloo.
John Buckaloo.
Holds him for a 2-yard gain.
We're looking for number 34 on my program. Dean Castellini in there, assisting on the stop. 3:12, 3:11 and running. 2nd down and 8. Vineland could ill afford to yield a first down at this critical point in the game, trailing by 7.
Yeah, if they could get the just hold them there and make Matola punt, get another shot at it.
Allman splits to the near side for Holy Spirit. And this...
Willie Hart.
There's number 32 back in there. If you're going to say Chris Murray's back in the game.
Yeah, and Willie Hart put the blocks to him. He only got 1 yard on that play. Now we're back to 3rd and 8. Last time was 3rd and 9. They got a 59-yard touchdown. Now let's got to stop him here. Got to stop him here. 3rd and 8.
And Mike Rando was the receiver lining up on the left side that time. Probably the brother of Sam Rando, who made the key interception just moments ago to take the wind out of Vineland's sails momentarily, we hope.
Big play here, Mike. Big
3rd
play.
and 8. Mallon. He's got a little time. Here's the big rush. They got him. He gets away. He's going to run.
He's not going to make a first
down. He's to the 30. He has a first down.
He just made a first down.
Oh, unbelievable. Mallon with a first down. Oh. And the tackle, Dean Castellini, number 34. But that could be the play. Made it impossible for Vineland to get back in this game. 1 minute and 58 and running, and Holy Spirit has the first down. Now the defense has to force a turnover. They got to get a fumble or an interception. There's no other way. Holy Spirit can just about let this clock run out by kneeling 4 times. 1 minute and 42 and running.
They could have had him back there. Well.
That was the play that would have made the difference, probably, hopefully. At any rate, Mallon gives it to Little. He's stacked up again. Not much running room, but the clock is just running out of time for Vineland High. 1 minute and 26, and they stop it. Timeout, Vineland.
Buccalo's been doing an excellent job. He and Castellini particularly getting into the backfield.
All right, 1 minute and 26 to play. Holy Spirit 27, Vineland 20. We'll be right back with the exciting conclusion after these words.
Mike, and there were 2 I can think of immediately, and one was roughing the kicker on a 49-yard field goal attempt, which gave Holy Spirit back the ball when it would have been Vineland's ball on about the 50, and they kept, after the penalty, they went in and scored a touchdown, and now with 3rd down, 8 to go, and Mallon back to pass, and he was chased out of the pocket. He made just enough to make a first down.
And remember, Vineland couldn't convert on 4th and 3 at the 22-yard line of Holy Spirit. They had to turn the ball over on downs.
Right, they had to turn it over there. But they got the ball back after that. No harm came on that particular play, though, that you lost out on some yardage, of course.
The interception was the killer.
Oh, yeah, that hurt.
All right, 1 minute and 26 to play. Ain't over yet, but we're down by 7, and they have the ball. Mallon, he's got time. Now he's under the rush. He's going to run again. Mallon diving forward, breaking tackles. He's to the 40-yard line. This guy does it all.
And he's eating up clock while he's doing it.
To say, want to see my Randall Cunningham impersonation?
He's a big boy. Mallon, 6'1", 208.
He looks bigger than that. This kid looks like he could play quarterback in college. Real easy. What else would they use him for?
The Mallon's hurt.
Uh-oh.
Mallon's hurt. Oh, no, he's tying his shoe. Or so
shoelace injury.
So it seems.
Shoelace fracture of the 3rd metatarsal.
Show off. Did you read in Sports Illustrated where they did a recap of...
I only read the bathing suit issue.
About different things that happened in football games, oddities that happened in football games. And the game, I think it was Purdue or Notre Dame had the play where
is that
you
the
feigned
guy
injury.
the school that made chickens famous, Purdue?
They pretended that somebody was hurt. Unfortunately, the next time 4 fellas pretended they were hurt. The coach had to go, the captain went around and said, hey, you're not hurt, you're not hurt. But they had to put a rule in about that. You couldn't fake injury.
Well, it's 3rd and 4, and only your doctor knows for sure. Oops.
No, not offside.
Oh, there's Brian Little.
Made first down.
And he's got the 1D with a 1:15 to go. Hey, the kids really did a great job today.
Yeah.
You got to congratulate our coach, John Parentazzi. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. It's a game we had a chance to win until there was 4 minutes left to play in the game.
He and his staff did an excellent job of preparation for this game.
Great job.
And the players have really gave everything they had. and they're still giving it out there. The game's not over yet.
Big 60-yard touchdown pass made a heck of a difference on a 3rd and 9. You talk about critical plays in this game.
Oh, here we
And
go.
Mallon says, I'm going to tie my shoes again. The left one this time.
Yeah, now, of course, this is something you're going to do, and this is the thing that bothers you. You can't do anything about it to stop it.
You hate to lose this game, but they played so well. It's like a half a win. It really is. It's a half a win for Vineland.
You know, that line out there, that defensive line with Ravitz and you had Jim Walters and Haydag, Ernie Bernhardt, Willie Hart, John Perez, Castellini. They delay a game, which is fine. They let the clock run down. The clock runs down. It's down to 12 seconds. Sure, they take a penalty, and they'll take another penalty, delay a game, and that'll be the end of that.
By the way, you folks who are concerned about the so-called automobile insurance crisis, you know, we're paying the highest rates in the nation now, especially since they just raised them $200. And yet they've taken away a sizable chunk of our coverage with the new automobile insurance law passed approximately August 1st of this year. If you're unhappy about the fact that now you will have to pay up to $1,700 out of pocket every time you have an accident, there's something you can do. There will be a statewide rally in Trenton this coming Thursday, October the 13th, from 12 noon to 1 o'clock at the State House in Trenton. This rally is sponsored by New Jersey Citizen Action. That's a consumer organization affiliated with Ralph Nader and other national consumer advocates. And we urge all of you who really give a darn about what's happening to you and the abuses you're taking from the insurance companies to let your voices be heard Thursday in Trenton. Thursday, October 13th from noon to 1. Thousands of people are expected from all over the state of New Jersey to protest the terrible new automobile insurance law, which victimizes all of us as drivers, passengers, and pedestrians in the state, and only allows for windfall profits and more abuses by the insurance companies. We can do something about it. All right, last play of the game, 12 seconds left, and this will be a formality. Allen? I'm not going to let him tackle him. 8 seconds and running. So that'll do it. And our final score here today, Holy Spirit coming from behind late in the 4th quarter.